Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with a new CD with the imposing and completely senseless title, Transcription as Translation. Yes, doesn't that sound brainy and sophisticated? Actually, what we have here are two orchestral transcriptions. George Szell's transcription of the Smetana string quartet from My Life, his first string quartet, and Felix Weingartner's transcription of Beethoven's Hammerklavier Sonata. They are very different transcriptions, so I guess they translate differently as well. Maybe that's the idea? I don't know. But the performers are the Orchestra Now, which is T-O-N, ton, but it has a line over the O. This is also part of the increasing effort to put senseless diacriticals over little three-word classical music things. Like, what's her name? The Orchestra movie, about the crazy lesbian playing Mahler's Fifth. Her name was Tour with like a umlaut or I don't know, something. Well, this has a thing. I guess so you pronounce it tone. Get it? Tone. The Orchestra Now, under Leon Botstein, who is, usually conducting them, and who has fabulous instincts for finding unusual repertoire. Anyway, so what do we got here? George Szell's transcription of the Smetana Quartet is very well made. I mean, as you might expect, it's George Szell, he wasn't going to do a slouchy job. The sound is idiomatic. It could pass for Smetana. Szell himself recorded it, albeit in mono for Sony. Jeffrey Simon did it. A few other people have done it. It's been recorded before. And this is a good performance. It holds its own. It really does. It sounds very, very effective. It's a beautiful work. And the finale, runs into Smetana's incipient deafness. There's a high E or something like the violins that he heard this whistling in his ears and eventually went deaf and crazy and whatnot, from syphilis, most likely. It's a tragic but very beautiful work. And his second string quartet's wonderful too. It hasn't been transcribed, but it's marvelous. So this is nice to have. But the big event for most of us will be a modern recording, at long last, of Felix Weingartner's transcription of Beethoven's Hammerklavier Sonata. It is an absolutely loathsome, vile, clumsy, ham-handed, worthless pile of crap as a transcription. It's terrible. It's terrible in every possible respect. It smushes up the rhythm in the first movement. It's colorless orchestrally. The trade-offs between woodwinds and strings and whatnot are simply routine. It's just a clogged up mess. The scherzo is flat-footed. The adagio, you want to die. You could fall asleep from it. It's so boring. Taking piano music and arranging it for what is mostly strings is always an issue. Grieg did it very well in the Holberg suite, but, he left a couple movements out. There are things you can do to arrange the music effectively. But, oh, my God, and the finale. The finale, it has that wonderful introduction with dreamy anticipations of the fugue to come. Well, you don't want it to be too dreamy, because you've just finished 20 minutes of slow, quiet music of the adagio. So you don't want the music to just sort of drift around aimlessly, which is what it does. Part of the problem is the performance, which is terrible, in my view. It is heavy-handed and choppy and completely lacking in vitality and energy. Certainly the propulsiveness that you naturally have with, the percussive rhythmic snap of the actual keyboard. But if you're going to do it not for keyboard, if you're going to rearrange it that way, oh, wow. It's so hard to give the music the definition that you don't have to worry about when you play it on the piano. I find Botstein's performance to be entirely sluggish and, just foursquare. And, the final fugue is loathsome. Wow. Talk about something that goes nowhere. It doesn't help that the orchestration sucks, but even there, there's just such a lack of clarity. The trills, the things that you can really get people to sit up and take notice of on the piano. None of that works in this orchestral transcription, and it certainly doesn't work at these tempos. I think the orchestra is struggling, especially in the finale. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like. Beethoven's music often sounds like it's struggling, but it's sort of a cosmic struggle. It shouldn't be a technical struggle. So I was confirmed in my view from Weingartner's own recording of the Hammerklavier that it was a just awful transcription. But of course, in 1930s sound or whenever he recorded it, you really didn't know. Well, now we know. It's as bad as we thought it was, and this performance doesn't help it. So the Smetana is fine, but you can get it elsewhere. And the Beethoven, well, it's a curiosity. But this performance is not making the best case for it, not by any stretch of the imagination. So keep on listening, friends, to other things. Take care.